This conference that has been organized by CRSS on exploring pathways to regional peace and security is very timely because of the tensions that have been going on between Pakistan and Afghanistan. There was general agreement between all the participants, both from Afghanistan and Pakistan, that there is a need for peace in Afghanistan and for stability in Afghanistan, for there to be peace and stability in the region. The isolation of Afghanistan has not worked so far, and therefore there is need for everyone to collaborate for improving regional connectivity, for which peace is essential. The participants from Uzbekistan also expressed that they face a threat from ISKP. It was interesting to see the different views on TTP from both sides, because Pakistan is very clear that there are issues with TTP. They are the ones who are making these attacks against Pakistan. However, some members of the Afghanistan delegation felt that this was more of a hype created by the media. There is a UN Security Council report of 2024, which clearly states that TTP has benefited the most from all this instability, and there is some kind of protection being given to them by some departments of the Taliban. Unfortunately, because of the refugees here, there is now a change of heart. Initially, they were like neighbors who lived together and who enjoyed and helped each other in their cultural festivities, etc. Now there is mistrust between the Pakistanis and Afghanis, which is fast turning to hatred, which is not required and not conducive to peace between the two countries. So what are the solutions? The solutions are that both sides must understand that they are sovereign nation states and that each country has its own place. Confidence-building measures can be created by having problem-solving workshops, especially between government offices. The most important takeaway from that particular session is that the root causes of terrorism must be addressed. And for that, perhaps some third-party countries can be brought back into the negotiations, countries like Qatar or countries like China. The issue of girls' education took center stage in one of the sessions. It was heartening to see that all the sides agreed that it is not a religious issue, it is much more a political issue, except for some people who may have made it into a religious issue. And the OIC conference on girls' education that was held in Pakistan was not interpreted or not taken very positively by the Afghanis. They felt, some of them, that this was an interference in the internal affairs of Afghanistan. What was also good to hear is that not all the elements in the Taliban government are opposed to women's education. There is the power center in Kandahar, which is opposed. However, there are solutions that can still be managed. One of them is that the diaspora the Afghani diaspora in other countries must be trained in nursing, in medicine, and in children's education, so that when things do settle down, there is no vacuum in Afghanistan. Also, skill training for women to enable them to become important productive members of the economy and of the Afghan society is important. There's also the online training can be explored. The wider issue of women empowerment in Afghanistan also needs to be addressed, but should not be perceived as interference in Afghanistan's internal affairs. One of the important sessions today was more on strengthening regional connectivity, especially transit trade and bilateral trade between the two countries. The issues and challenges of transit trade, like containers being scanned or sealed or trackers being applied, visa difficulties, etc., and the idea of this trade going up and down in the last few years must be addressed. For this, it is important to facilitate transit trade, because right now, when there have been these difficulties at the borders, Afghanistan has shifted its trade from Karachi to Gwadar, which is also more expensive for Afghanistan. It is important to go back. But perhaps the silver lining of the day was the question and answer session with Mr. Sadiq, the envoy on Afghanistan, and he categorically stated that some of these are misperceptions, that when taxes are increased, they are increased by both sides. If there are legal documents that cover the interaction of trade, whether it is the preferential trade agreement or agreement on taxes, these issues can be resolved. Visas are a complex issue, but again, the envoy is talking about them both in Afghanistan and in Pakistan. And he was hopeful that with this collaboration, the relations between the two countries will improve, and once that improves, the entire the region will benefit.